All right, welcome back to Pax Unplugged. We got our Lightseekers tournament action going on. We had some exciting plays today, some really good solid games from all of our players. I'm Scott.
I'm Chris. And we're about to cut to the semi-finals now. So we've got DanTheMan versus SomeRandomGuy, which is actually his player name.
That is his player name. I'm very excited to be saying this all through the match.
Yeah, same. I'm looking forward to this. So DanTheMan is Astral, and SomeRandomGuy is playing Dread. That's not going to get old, all right? It's the first time we got to cast these guys, so I'm looking forward to this.
And again, heading into the semifinals, we've got still over $1,500 in prizes sitting on the line.
Packed entry, a lot of good prizes riding on this. And we got DanTheMan, there he is, and SomeRandomGuy.
All right, SomeRandomGuy.
All right, so we got Vela. Oh, nice hero. So lower health value than the normal, but does 2 damage as an ability if gravity's on top. And Sicario, a common Dread hero we like. Well, uncommon in rarity, but players are drawn towards him, it seems. 31 health, superior shadow, and an ability to move 2 valid action buffs into play. So Dread-like buffs, and Sicario can get that job done.
Yep, he's definitely a very strong hero.
So Sicario's going first, SomeRandomGuy. Some random Sicario, what do you reckon? All right, DanTheMan looking at his cards as well, starting hand underway. And I can see a blurry Abyss Tentacle. He's drawn 2 and he's passed immediately, so over to DanTheMan. This might be a fast-paced game because Sicario likes stacking the board quickly.
We got a Mage Ship, a Dawnstalker. we got removal in there.
Pathfinder and a Sun Beacon.
So so DanTheMan's going to have to play his buff removal very, very carefully in the game, and he knows that going into Dread because he knows that Dread's so buff heavy.
Okay, looks like they're just drawing quite quickly here. So there's no hand limit.
Right.
Might be a punishment if we get it. So he's doing Shapeshifter. First card played.
Right into another Shapeshifter. That's twice in a row we've seen that now. 2 matches in a row.
It's so good if it does solo or gravity, or both if it's a combo, but unfortunately Luna's the one you don't want. So nothing for that, but another Shapeshifter. And he's got 1 more action left, and he's just drawn again. Yeah,
I think Dan's just using that Shapeshifter to dig a little deeper into his deck. Right, they're both going for hand sides here.
All right,
so again, like you keep saying, that hand size punishment would be very strong in this game. So we'll see if either players happen to have it, or they might sideboard, right, for the next one.
They could sideboard between games.
Now that they're seeing,
okay, so he's putting in a Night Lurker, and then he's adding an Abyss Tentacle, which is another shadow buff, and importantly, it does 2 damage when using an ability, Night Lurker being an ability. So Sicario, he has an ability. Oh no, we're not doing that? What are we doing? We are doing that.
Okay.
And if he's played them both in the same turn, Abyss Tentacle will give him an extra action, which he's now passing to draw 1. So that's Abyss Tentacle gives an extra action if the shadow buff's already in place. That's why he played the Night Lurker and then the Tentacle.
That core Dread damage sitting on the table now. Yeah,
it's a staple of Shadow where you build the board with the Abyss creatures, the Tentacles, the Weavers, then you start punishing by using them.
DanTheMan can't be happy
about
that.
Or you don't.
There he goes. Yep, he's going to clean those
Pathfinder,
both out.
nice and early. He gets rid of 2 buffs because Luna's on top, so maximum efficiency out of that card.
So it depends again. I haven't seen SomeRandomGuy's deck. I'm not sure what his core is exactly. Those are some major cards, but I'm not sure what else is built into there.
Second Shapeshifter. It's Solar, so 5 damage.
Right into a Light Lasher.
So a lot of these guys are still new, but Sicario is obviously not a starter deck hero, so we know he's modified it. He might have kept the starter deck exclusive. He might have a Swamp Creeper to get those cards back later. Oh, he's going for a Shadow Supplier and a Creeble Infiltrator, so finally a hand-sized punishment.
This is what you get for having, so again, you're going to take, at the start of SomeRandomGuy's turn, DanTheMan's going to take 2 points of damage if his hand is 6 or more cards.
Right, so and he's also playing a Shadow Supplier. So Shadow Supplier on the 4th turn draws for the amount of buffs he has in place. So that's guaranteed to be 2 at the moment. Shadow Supplier counts as 1, Creeble Infiltrator another. Sun Beacon on the side of DanTheMan.
All right.
Draw a card face. No, discard the top card.
Oh, there it is again.
So bad.
Man, we've seen I was going to say we've seen Sun Beacon help and hurt, and
so he does 5 damage, 5 healing, but he's lost the top card, which is a Pathfinder, and you don't want to lose those cards. They dispel cards, especially against Dread.
Dread, again, the debuff is so strong in this matchup. He needs every bit of it. That's a critical loss on that card.
All right. But he might want it. I mean, it's still 5 damage, 5 healing. From 1 action card, that's a very good effect. But the discard is so risky.
It is a big swing, but yeah, that's a painful discard.
I was talking to a few guys between the rounds, and they're liking Sun Beacon for the just the payoff.
It's a huge swing.
It is a huge swing.
Oh man,
it comes with a cost.
But that hurts when you lose that though, with the cards that you needed.
And he's gone for a Mage Ship, which is another solar card.
So again, eventually we'll rotate into 7 points of damage.
Back to SomeRandomGuy. Rotating his Shadow Supplier. It's a card draw on the way.
going to draw, so we'll be going back to DanTheMan. DanTheMan, one of the youngest players in our tournament this weekend.
Yeah, and again, this guy's actually got a bit of experience. He's been playing with some of the organised play, I've heard. He's had a few tournaments like locally under his belt.
I like that.
Another shapeshifter. He's loving the shapeshifters.
He's not going to get another shapeshifter.
It's gravity. That's a good point.
Twister.
Yeah, so 5 healing for that, but he's capped out, a bit annoying. Probably wanted it to be solar, but it's still card draw at the end of the day. And he's going for a Dimensional Hunter. So Luna's on top, so he's going to get the extra action. But first things first, 2 damage and 2 defend cards back to his deck. So some random guy has to pick 2 defense. If he has them, he's just stacking them up to prove it. So if you stack them up, you can see the bottom of the card. So 1 there.
1 there.
And he's just stacking the others to prove.
Losing the Assassin's
No
guild.
defends. All right.
He's showing the rest his big hand size. Yeah,
So DanTheMan, quite aggressive at the start. He's on max health, and he's got some random guy down to 16.
Yeah, he's definitely punching it. Again, very astral, very punchy, hitting as hard as you can.
He's got 1 extra action as well, so it's still his turn. Not forgetting Vela. I don't know if he has forgot Vela, but Vela can do 2 damage if gravity's on top, which it now is. And that 2 damage, that little poke every now and then, you'd be surprised how much that adds up.
Just enough to tip somebody over the top, yep.
So, and especially with Astral, get him within kill range and then get a combo.
That's the thing, like, speed is Dan's friend in this game, right? He just needs to go, because the more time that some random guy has to build up his buffs, the more deadly he gets.
Exactly, and we know he's already played a Pathfinder and lost a Pathfinder. Okay, so, I think he's Sicario, 2 damage there, so I'm assuming he's going to put 2 action buffs into play as his first action.
Let's see what he's going to drop on the table here.
He's got a lot of options.
He's looking at that mage ship, going to tick though, so he's thinking about that.
And he wants to get him out because Shadow Supply is going to draw for buffs in play, so stacking the buffs is useful right now.
Definitely.
Probably want to pick a Wall of Bones or something because he's getting low health.
Is that a Wall of Bones he's carrying right there?
Oh, is he eyeing one up?
I think that is one on top.
Oh, yeah. It's a Soul Trader.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
And a Wall of Bones.
All right.
So he's put a Wall of Bones out,
He's
so
going
that's
for
2 damage reduction, but 3 because of Shadow buff. Shadow Supplier is in play. And then Soul Trader is 7 healing on the first turn, and then self-damage the rest.
For the rest.
The Wall of Bones will block the first 2 corners at least, because you can see the damage is going to be reduced on his own side as well.
Gives him a little bit of time to get rid of that Soul Trader.
And he's got 1 more action because of the Sicario play, and he's got rid of the Mage Ship.
Oh,
no, 2 buffs from another
judges
person.
Are going to step in here, I think.
Yeah, common problem with new players is I think the attack cards play out all effects, whereas it plays out on the recipient. So he removes 1 buff, not the full 2. It's not 2 buffs from play. So Soul Trader's staying in play.
Yep.
It might have been a little bit of a misplay, but like I said, Soul Trader is actually going to trade off quite well on the Wall of Bones. The 1 damage is going to be ignored, the 2 damage is going to be ignored,
it's not
and the
super
4 damage is
against
going to
him
hit.
at this point. And again, going back and we keep saying it, a lot of these guys are brand new players. They've just stepped into the game. They literally have done a demo.
And here we are in the semifinals, right?
Yeah, and here we are. So, I mean, he demoed it this weekend, and he is going home with prize money, no matter what the outcome of this.
Yeah. Okay.
Getting closer to that draw. We got
What's that? It looks like a Dawnstalker. Yeah.
So again, rotating on the 4th turn, it's going to tick for 6 points of damage at the top card.
This card might be new to some random guys, so he's just checking out what he's in for. So Shadow Supply ticks, here we go. So draw for the amount of buffs you have in play. We start with left to right.
He knows the Wall of Bones is preventing that 1 damage.
So he should draw 4 first. Well, he should do Creeble Infiltrator first, but I think he's got a low hand size, so it's not punishing him right now.
So there's the 4 cards.
There's the 4 cards, and then he should take the 1 damage, but it's blocked because Wall of Bones has got 3 damage reduction.
Solid draw for the Shadow Supplier.
Yep.
Depending on what cards he got.
What's he going to go for? Oh, I see a Defiler there. I like that.
Oh, yeah?
Defiler hits for the amount of buffs he has in play. Very good for Dread, because they're not very good at spike hitting, but obviously they're good at buffing, and then that can punish.
Abyss Weaver in there, so he does have some healing.
Looks like another tentacle.
So it's kind of the decision. If he's got a tentacle,
does he Sicario?
Damage
or is he playing it legit?
All right, so going for more card draw.
So Abyss Tentacle gives him another action, because Shadow Supplier is a Shadow buff already in play, and another Shadow Supplier, which is going to draw cards in the future. So,
yeah, so every time he uses that Sicario from now on, that Abyss Tentacle is going to do damage. Start hitting DanTheMan.
And now he's going to regret losing that Pathfinder. Although he might have Black Hole, which would be really punishing against Dread, especially in the current state. All right, look at that board. There's been all sorts going on this side.
There's been a lot of, I've seen Black Hole as a sideboard card a lot. I'm wondering how many Astral players are going to start running that just permanent main board.
Just in case. It's a good one to swap to for game 2 if it's not going your way. So Dawnstalker's rotating. Solar's on top, so it's only going to do 6 damage in the current state. And he's just drawing 2.
Okay, buff throws
So
it.
Shadow Supply is out. Wall of Bones is still on 3 damage reduction because another Shadow buff's in play. Trader does 2 damage, but it's blocked by the Wall of Bones. And he's winding up more cards with Shadow Supply.
So he's starting to get his buffs on the table. That's always a good thing for a Dread player.
And it's nice that Sicario has an ability because obviously without like Night Lurkers in play, there's nothing that can trigger the tentacles. Obviously Sicario does self-damage, but Wall of Bones will block the self-damage. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
One of the many ways that Sicario has a lot of synergy with some of the cards.
Oh, and I
in the
think we
deck.
just saw Creeble Infiltrator do 2 damage. I think DanTheMan
he's up and over.
is over 5 cards. Oh, I see Breach the Veil here as well.
Oh,
that can make DanTheMan's life a
so
lot
pretty.
harder. Although it does increase self-damage as well. So Soul Trader would hit harder. 2 Weavers. So you can't actually play the same card twice, but Sicario moves 2 buffs into play. So if you Sicario 2 Weavers in, that's actually valid. And he'll get 8 flash healing because the Shadow buff's already in place.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of healing.
A cheeky play by some random guy.
And from this point out, every time he uses that ability, he's going to receive 1 point of healing from each of those Weavers.
Yeah, from this point onwards, yeah, correct. Damage is blocked by Wall of Bones. He's just confirming the play order there because that was quite a little complicated play and not something everyone usually sees. So Dawnstalker should rotate. He's just looking. He's too busy looking at his options. Checking out what he can do next.
Both players looking at their options at this point.
Probably does not like the length of that buff board right now.
No, I don't blame him one bit. Yeah, that is.
The Wall of Bones is going on the next go, and it will expire. So Soul Trader is actually going to hit for 4.
Yeah, so in his favor, I was going to say that Soul Trader's there.
But I mean, look at that Shadow Supply. He's going to draw a crazy amount of cards. This is a nice. He's got a really nice Dread deck there.
He's got a lot of healing going.
And Dread haven't got a lot of great card draw. They've got Corrupted Spirit for 1 card. So Shadow Supply really is great if you got the buffs, but it's reliant on the buffs.
That's an interesting choice with the 2 Weavers in play though too, because that's going to neutralize any penalty from Sicario every time he uses
correct.
it.
Yeah, very nice. So what we got next?
Yeah.
I think he's just
Just
figuring out what to
options.
do with this.
Yeah, he's definitely in a thinking corner now. He's got to.
I need to check the health values here in a second as well, because I think, some random guys healed up as well, because he was quite low for mid part of this game.
Well, those Weavers coming in really swung that back
8
up
flash heal, and again, Dread not great at healing in a pinch, but flash heals from Weavers entering play is probably arguably one of the best ways of doing it. I mean, Bone Reapers are great, 4 damage, 4 healing, but you have to wait. Soul Traders are great, but you risk their self-damage, which he's done well here. Let's not forget, some random dude is playing this Dread deck well.
Some random guy. I
Some
think
random
random
guy.
dude might be his brother.
Some random dude. Yeah, I'll call him that later. All right, so still waiting on DanTheMan to figure out his plan.
You know, I hope both these guys make it big in the scene, but I think some random guy.
Oh, he's going big.
Oh.
Sorry, he's going big.
Yeah.
He's Stellar. Is he? Oh no, he's using Stellar Fusion.
Stellar Fusion to pay.
He's going pretty big. He's going for planetary alignment, so that's 12 damage straight up. Stellar Fusion.
Still has the Wall of Bones in play though.
Wall of Bones is going to take 3 off. Yeah, correct. But he knows on the next go, DanTheMan's going to take. Some random guy's going to take 4 damage because Soul Trader's going to hit. So it's sort of, it will come home for a little bit extra damage. All right.
Do you think you would have waited maybe for that Wall of Bones to go away before dropping the combo?
Maybe wait 1 turn, but we'll see what happens next. He might have thought ahead.
Let's see what we got.
See, they expire first, and then he takes the damage.
Takes the 4, yep.
So there's the extra bit he just lost from planetary alignment
once
anyway.
Again, buffs are expiring or triggering from left to right.
Yeah, so we rotate, we apply Linger Effects and expire, and then we apply instant. So the self-damage is coming after the expiry of Wall of Bones. So I don't know if he intended that. I think he did actually misplay it, but he realised it a bit too late and he let it play out. Yeah. So that 4 damage has hit him. So, I mean, yeah, look at his health now. He's back down to 14, I just saw there. So, I mean, a second ago, he was up at 28, so he's gone half health in a few turns here. So planetary alignment, ended up getting the job done. Oh, actually, look at this. So planetary alignment has got all elements on top.
Oh, that's
and Dawnstalker is about to hit, and it needs Lunar on top, which it now is. So that's 10 damage coming in, and Wall of Bones is gone. And I think he's just doing the same logic. He's like,
that's
all
bad
right,
math.
okay.
Yeah, bad
so
math
that's why you soak it. Forget the 3 damage reduction. The Soul Trader's doing 4. And then the Dawnstalker's doing the bonus 4, so that's going to pay off in the late game. So I like the foresight there. He's playing Astral really well.
Yeah. So I take back what I said about waiting. Yeah, well done, DanTheMan. That's why you're DanTheMan.
DanTheMan is the man. Yeah. Well, let's not speak too soon.
All right,
What's he going for?
We're doing. Oh, we got a Colossi.
Colossi. Oh, okay. So we saw this in an earlier game. Yep. Action cards can't deal more than 4 damage. Colossi Artifact. So that 10 damage is going to hit 4. And then he's got Putrid Shaman. increased damage done on the next go by 2, and then they go after by 3. So nothing in play actually hurts other than the tentacle, but when Sicario pushes buffs in, that tentacle is going to hit for 4.
It's going to hit
Free Will Infiltrate is going to hit for 4 if DanTheMan's hand is over 5 cards. Yeah. So this should be an interesting turn of events. And a nice play by some random guy to stay
definitely.
in this.
Yep. This
could easily be a killing turn for DanTheMan without that artifact. So let's see.
Again, using that artifact to help push himself into later game, giving himself more time to build up more buffs, really working into that Dread stronghold.
10 damage goes out, capped at 4. So he still takes the 4. They're just checking, yeah, sorry. Very good play by some random guy to stay in it there. Yeah. That would have been a kill, right? I mean, you've got to assume DanTheMan could finish him off if he just took down to 4, right?
Right.
Instead, he takes 4 and he's on 10.
Yeah, because he'd be sitting 6 points lower right now.
I mean, DanTheMan has got gravity on top with planetary alignment here, so he could just use Vela to poke that 2. Why not poke the 2?
A little bit.
Poke the 2 and wait it out. Colossal Artifact is going to ruin his action card, so why not just do the 2 damage? What's he going to go for? He's got to worry about that Putrid Shaman. I mean, actually, it's not too bad. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon.
Yeah, right
actually,
now.
I have spoken too soon.
I think you might have spoken too
soon. We know some random guy. Some random guy is holding a Defiler, which is can hit buffs in play plus the Shaman.
So DanTheMan using Sunlasher, he's rewinding his Dawnstalker.
Yep. So that's going to come back for another 4 damage next turn. But watch this. He's got a Defiler. It hits for the amount of buffs you have in play, plus 2. Plus the 2 from Putrid Shaman, so I'm expecting a big spike from some random guy's first action here. But let's just double check this. The Soul Trader's going to run out.
That's a huge amount of spike damage out of a Dread deck.
So Soul Trader's out. Check this out. Shadow Supplier is going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Wow. This is where you need a Creeble Jester, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just making sure he's counting that many cards.
He's using those Shadow Suppliers really, really well.
Yeah, very well. You don't use him that effective, but he's playing them like later in. So now what does he do? I reckon, if this is me, I would go for a Sicario, push 2 buffs in, and then Defile. So if you've got 2 more, just Defiler on top, that's an incredible amount of damage. What's he going to go for? He's got to choose from his deck at this point. He's just drawn 7 cards.
Yeah, he's got so much in there. I can see some combos. I think I saw some Wall of Bones. I can't quite tell though.
Let's just give him 10 minutes to sort out his hand. He's probably ordering them all, poison, death, shadow, combos, unaligned. Everyone has their way of ordering their hand.
Figuring out just what he's going to do with that hand to do as much damage as he possibly can to DanTheMan while keeping himself in the game.
Yeah, I mean, do you push 2 in and save the Defiler for the next go? I mean, how greedy do you want to get?
All right,
so I think that's a playing Wall of the Bones, which now means he can't Defile because he can't play 2 death cards.
Curious why he wouldn't Sicario.
Oh, he's checking. No, Sicario, damage is increased to himself by Putrid Shaman.
That's right. All right.
So he's cleverly got around that. He now has 3 damage reduction. So now if he Sicarios... Oh no, did he Sicario? He's just checking the play order here.
Checking the heal.
Yeah, so he would have got 2 healing, and then he would have taken 2 damage. 4 damage with the tentacle.
Across the board
there it is. So he is Sicarioing in. He's Sicarioing in Wall of Bones. Oh, I think they were checking that Wall of Bones doesn't block Sicario's self-damage because it's not actually in play yet. So that was 1 buff he Sicarioed, so what's the second?
That is the question. I've been sitting here not vocalizing.
I think he's still picking. It is an Abyss Tentacle, which gives him another action immediately, so he's still sitting on 2 actions. Yep. He's going all in, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely going to start.
Oh no, he's got 1 more action. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, off of that Abyss.
So this has got to be a Defiler. Come on. Unless he's going to go super greedy and more buffs on the next guy.
He might. I mean, you get enough buffs.
Just take
again, some random guy fairly new. He may not know about the existence of Black Hole yet. Right.
I hope for his sanity he doesn't. Oh, he's playing another Putrid Shaman. He's getting greedy, and I like it. I like it. So on the next go, damage is going to be increased. Let's just clarify this, right? So the next go, Shadow Supply is out of there.
Yeah.
But then he's going to have Putrid Shaman on 3, another Putrid Shaman on 2, so that's 5 damage increase. And then Defiler hits for 2 plus the buff count.
Dan just did the math. I don't know if you saw his eyes. Those
so
went
7
really
damage
wide.
plus the amount of buffs he's got in play.
There it is.
Oh, he's defiling. Yeah. So yeah, let's just keep this going. Yep.
That is a massive hit from a Defiler.
And they say Dread can't spike.
Yeah.
All right, so that's his go over. That's quite a long turn.
And I'd like to mention that hit was not a combo card.
It was not a combo card, but look at the buffs in play. He's on the 2nd row. So he takes 6 damage, capped at 4. -3. Play order again, important there. So he only takes 1 damage. And yeah, DanTheMan had such a strong start, but I think this is the beginning and the end.
Yeah,
I mean, on the next go, if he just uses Sicario, 2 tentacles are going to do how much damage each? Future Shaman's going to be on 3 plus 2, so that's 5. Plus the 2 originally, so that's 10 damage.
That's it.
Just for using Sicario. It doesn't even matter what buffs you put into play. Although he'll need to put in something because he's on 11 health. So this should be interesting. I love it. He's got such good synergy out of that Dread deck, and he's playing it like a champ, which is probably why he's here in the semi-finals. And this is round 1, right? So a learning curve here, and I expect DanTheMan's going to put Black Hole in if he hasn't got it. Imagine losing all of that.
Oh man, yeah, that would just be...
That's probably game over.
Painful, yeah.
He's defiling, and that's, as we know, is definitely a kill.
Wow, yeah, that's plenty of a kill on that. He looks so relieved. Dan's like, give me my removal right now. Right?
There we go. I mean, so that was round 1 of DanTheMan versus SomeRandomGuy. DanTheMan with more experience, and as you said, the new guy is getting really good experience, and SomeRandomGuy specifically is just rocked up and took out game 1 there.
He just came in there, yeah, again, playing really well, using those buffs to a maximum. Again, that direct damage, like I would never expect that out of a Dread deck at all. Like, it's just not known. It's not known. So I mean, Defile is a solid card, but when you get that many buffs on the table, you don't need combos. You don't need to use Sicario. I mean, that's the most buffs I've seen on the table at once so far this tournament. Personally,
definitely. I think that was 10 buffs. He's on 2 rows of 5.
It's massive. So, and again, the other thing I'm curious about is if he has seen or knows about the Black Hole, and if that hits him, because I mean that's.
It's a Black Hole. Just to clarify, 8 damage, remove all buffs. So. You got to assume it's on the sideboard. For Astral, it's, on the sideboard you can put unaligned cards and combo cards. So for Astral, you've got to put a Black Hole in, right?
So it looks like we're heading into round 2 here. But yeah, with that Black Hole, again, as a new player, he may not be expecting that, right? Because it didn't look like he was playing around that, going straight into an Astral deck.
Yeah, and like I said, I loved the late game there. Like, he could have defiled, but he went greedy and he put another Future Shaman. So it's like, I'm going to forego this turn to do even more on the next go.
A little bit more.
You're already in a hole, let's just dig you deeper. And actually, let's not forget, he knew he lost the Pathfinder because he Sun-Beaconed it away earlier, so he knew he had a bit of freedom to play what he wanted to play. So yeah, great play all around from the draft. And props to DanTheMan. He went in really early and did a load of damage.
Hard, yeah.
So expect a slightly different game this turn. He knows what to expect now. A lot of purple,
hey,
to be
there
specific.
It is, right on top.
Oh yeah, Black Hole.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it wasn't in there before, it's in there now.
Definitely now, yeah. That's just definitely the time you reach for it.
Is it mean that I sort of want him to play it unexpectedly to find out the hard way and go to game 3? All right, so I think we're just cutting in. I think the sideboarding's over if there was any. Just checking they're happy with the cards.
Yeah, to see what they like.
So you can swap out up to 10 cards between the rounds. Again, only on aligned cards, which are sort of general use cards. But you've got to watch how many of those you have because you can't pay for combos with grey cards.
Yeah, particularly with Astral because you're trying to, you really need that stacking, and an unaligned card in the wrong place can really ruin your stacking.
Yeah, and especially with Astral because they care a lot about the last discarded card. And if the last discarded card is grey, that does not help your deck.
I don't know how many times I have played a shapeshifter right into an unaligned card.
Oh, I hate it.
And been sad. Yeah.
All right.
Sadness on a stick.
Okay, so I think we've just finished sideboarding. SomeRandomGuy looks happy with his current Dread deck.
All right, Sicario versus Vela, round 2.
DanTheMan making a few last-minute adjustments. Just checking he hasn't got 5 black holes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wants them all.
I think we're good.
Yeah, he's like you said, he's got a much better idea of what he's going up against this time. He knows he has to play, uses removal wisely. Hopefully not lose it to a shapeshifter again. Yeah, that is painful if you're an Astral player.
Yeah, I mean that is a very good point. Sunbeacon, such a good card that does 5 damage, 5 healing. But like, imagine if it flipped over a black hole or like risk and reward that card. Definition of it.
Definitely.
All right, so we're just cutting into the start here. Decks being cut. Health values being reset.
It's like a little table chatter there. Both players smiling. One thing I've noticed that's been interesting with this tournament is like, I don't know how to put it any other way. The people that are getting knocked out are still walking away smiling. Like, people are just really enjoying the tournament.
Everyone's making friends and everyone's talking about what happened, how they're usually 1 card away from killing the other person.
Exactly. I mean, the tournament's been really good spirited. So props to all the players for keeping it fun.
Yep. All right, serious business. Let's get this started.
Here we go.
And DanTheMan, I think he's got 4 cards there, so I think he's going first. And he wants more cards, so straight into a pass and draw 2. Right. And it's over to some random Sicario.
All right.
So he's taking 2 damage.
Yeah,
so
let's see this buff chain getting built up here. Dropping in the Shadow
Supplier.
Double Shadow Suppliers.
Okay.
He wants the draw.
This guy is greedy, and I like it.
He likes lots of cards.
So he's guaranteed 2 cards. Okay. I think we can expect more.
I'm gonna guess we might see a few more buffs over the next couple of turns.
Yeah. And he's drawn one with the second action. Oh, we've got a Shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter into again.
No, calm down.
Oh, no,
it was a Shapeshifter. It was not a Sunbeacon.
Sorry. Okay,
so it was gravity, so it's 5 healing.
All right, I see the same 2 cards and I start to cry. Okay, we're
Panic's
good.
over. It's all right. So Shapeshifter was played. Solo's 5 damage on the next card you draw, which it draws for you. Gravity 5 healing. It was a Pathfinder, but he gets to keep it, which is important.
I've just seen those Pathfinders going away, and I just weep. My soul weeps for the Astral
You're
players.
recovering from the last game.
Yeah.
All right, so he's still got 1 more action. Lunar on top.
He's going to take the draw.
He's just drawing 1, yeah. So Shadow Supplies rotating.
All right.
I think he's just passing. Yes, it's drawing 2 as well.
Passing. Okay.
Bit of a wind up here.
I'm sure he's going to start dropping in more buffs sooner than that, but maybe next turn.
What's he got? His hand's already feeling. Oh, I think I see multicolours there. So he's got Stellar Fusion.
Stellar Fusion.
Maybe another combo. Another Shapeshifter. He's not going to draw Shapeshifter.
He's going to dig in there.
It's Gravity. Another 5 healing. It's a bit annoying. Caps out. He only got 1 healing from that card, so not a great return. Maybe he's hoping for a combo. Maybe he's hoping just for the solar, or maybe he wants the card draw. See, that's quite useful. You can't draw with your first action. So heroes and cards that allow draw just allow you to get an emergency draw as well.
Exactly.
So if nothing else, you get a card.
Yeah, the cantrip functions very,
might
very
might change the course of the game. Shadow Supplier on its way to drawing 2 cards. Oh no, sorry, it's my bad. It's 4 cards, right?
4 cards.
2 for one, 2 for the other. Talk about efficiency. So yeah, Night Lurker and a Weaver.
Run into a Weaver.
So Shadow buff's in place, so he gets 4 healing. And now Shadow Supplies on the next go. 4 cards each. That's 8 card
Huge
draw.
Hand size. Yep.
Hope DanTheMan's got Jester in there, because that you're going to basically make him discard the cards he drew.
You've been waiting all weekend for that.
Someone's going to do it.
Yeah, it would be very, very effective. But again, that Lurker, the clutch card in the Dread deck. Of course, I say that, but then again, he just defiled the Defiler bombs.
Yeah, so Night Lurker is a card that gives him a new ability. So now Sicario's ability is one thing, and he's got the option of another ability, which is 2 damage, and you can choose to discard, remove a buff to do 4 damage and 2 healing. So might sound like it's not a lot of damage, but it chips away, and you're not drawing, you're not spending cards to do it.
It is a full 6-point swing in the game.
Exactly, and look at like this. So he's going to draw 8 here, but Night Lurker, premium territory here. So you use it on a Shadow Supplier. It's done its thing. Just get rid of it for an extra 2 damage to healing. Why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, so he's going to draw 8 cards here. I don't think he's got a 3rd Shadow Supplier. I hope not, for DanTheMan's sake.
But if he does, it's probably in his hand now. Yeah.
DanTheMan. Is he holding a Jester?
Options.
I don't see any grey cards there. Oh, he might have a grey card on the right.
On the right, yeah. Kind of hard to see that, though. Trying to see. He does have some removal. He's holding a black hole.
Oh, it's a Creeper Infiltrator, I think.
He's got that black hole in his hand right now.
Nice.
And a Pathfinder.
Okay. Interesting he didn't choose to Pathfind the Shadow Suppliers. Probably saving him for something more, damaging. But he could have saved 8 card draw if he got rid of it. So first action, Abyss Tentacle. A Shadow buff is in place, so another action. He can't play the same card twice, so that's invalid unless he's Sicarioing them in. Is he Sicarioing? It might be Sicarioing. It's fine if you Sicario, it'll give you 2 extra actions, but you can't play the exact same card twice. And he's Night Lurking away the Shadow Supplier. So that'll be 4 damage, 2 healing.
That was a Sicario we needed to take
and 2 damage from both tentacles, because he's using an ability.
Did he take the Sicario?
No, he's healing from the he's healing from the lure.
But if he dropped...
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got 2 tentacles hitting nastily there. And the Weaver healing for him for 1 because he's using an ability. Alright. So, I think we're back to DanTheMan.
So he's definitely getting those buffs built up again.
He's got Black Hole. I don't know if he uses it now.
But the thing is in DanTheMan's seat, he knows that some random guy likes to get greedy with his buffs.
Yeah.
So DanTheMan might be able to get equally greedy and just kind of wait for that. but he's playing that delicate balance. He's like, how many buffs can I get out before he drops that Defiler on me, right?
Yeah, I mean, he knows what's happening. He's put a Putrid Shaman out. Let's just catch up a second here. So Putrid Shaman increases damage done on the next go. So if he Night Lurks, his damage is increased by 2. Both the tentacles are increased by 2. That could be his first action. His second action could be the Defiler. He hasn't got a load of, well, he's got a load of buffs out. Not as many as the last game, but let's just look at it. Night Lurker, 4, Abyss Tentacle, 4, Abyss Tentacle, 4, and then a Defiler on top of that.
That's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage.
Yeah, so this may not be a bad time for it.
Might not be bad for Black Hole. He's got a Pathfinder. He might just choose to remove like the Night Lurker and the Putrid Shaman maybe.
He's going for a Sun Beacon.
Oh, now you can despair.
Oh,
so 5 damage,
sorry,
5 healing from the Sun
trying
Beacon.
to jinx you there.
Discard the top card, which is a Pathfinder, the damage removal card. Next action, so he can't Black Hole now. He's played an action, so he's limited now. So does he Pathfind? He knows he's going to get hit next time for a lot, right?
Because that Putrid Shaman is just that's just a setup card, right? You know it's going to start swinging something.
Creeble Infiltrator, interesting. So 2 damage at the start of his go, not this go obviously because the start's gone past. If his opponent has more than 5 cards in his hand, which he probably does because he drew 8.
Right, so it's not a bad choice.
Now for the big
guy
hit.
Does like to get lots of cards in his hand.
So Putrid Shaman, buffing all damage by 2, so I expect a Night Lurk at the very least. I'm thinking Night Lurk Defile. He's got to have enough cards to be playing that card. What are we going to do? He could Sicario in 2 buffs,
and then
which would still trigger the tentacles for 4 and 4. But Putrid Shaman would mean he takes 4 as well because it increases damage done to yourself. It's actually a little ghetto clause. Increased damage done, not damage to other heroes, if I remember rightly. There's a few cards like that with a little bit of cheeky text on it.
A little painful if you don't have your Wall of Bones in play.
Exactly. So I think he's just contemplating, is that worth it? How much damage is this all going to do? I mean, he could even Night Lurk the Weaver away to do more damage.
True.
With the Putrid Shaman. What we got? He's probably just running the numbers.
Yeah, he's weighing his options.
I think DanTheMan is surviving this turn, but it could be nasty.
There's definitely going to be some serious damage laid down on the table.
Let's find out what's going to happen.
Sure. I think the only person that wants to know more than the audience right now is DanTheMan.
And he's going to find out. So 2 tentacles. Yeah, he's doing an ability. So the 2 tentacles fire off for 4 damage and 4 damage. Yep, and he got 1 healing as well from the Abyss Weaver. Yeah, so he's just saying 4 and 4.
1, 2, yep, there he goes.
And then the Night Lurker was the 2, plus the 2 from Putrid Shaman. So he chose not to remove a buff, fair enough. And he's got 1 more action. Is he going to get greedy and play another Putrid Shaman? I see 1 in his hand. He could Defile just for a big hit, but he could wait until next go and do that, right? Why not do it on double Putrid Shaman? He's drawing 1.
One's passing.
Interesting. Interesting. Right. I mean, to be fair, he could just do the same move he did on the next go for more damage because Putrid Shaman's going to go up to 3.
So do you think this is the turn for DanTheMan? Is this?
He's got to be Black Holing sooner rather than later now, I think. He can't afford to lose that much health, and Putrid Shaman's going to make the problem worse next go.
Really dig
it worked. Well, we're assuming he can pay for it. So Black Hole is a 4-card combo. I think it's double gravity, solar and lunar, so he might have the payment.
I can't help but think that DanTheMan is just expecting a lot more buffs, and he's just maybe hanging on to that.
He is. Well, he's going Sun Hugger.
But in the meantime, like, he just might get, you know, a little less spectacular direct damage, but just enough to whittle him down if he's not careful.
Yeah, it's a Sun Hugger. Just to clarify, damage 1, nothing, then 1, then 1, then 2. Increased by 2 if the top card is solar. So again, using the power of Astro, if solar's on top, that's going to hurt a little bit harder. So that's his first action. He's got 1 more action to go. He's drawing 1, so he's going to take. I think this is a kill.
Yeah, that might well be it.
So he's going to Night Lurk. You may as well Night Lurk and remove a buff at this point for the extra damage, but it might not matter. Each tentacle stands to do 5 damage now when he uses an ability. So that's 10 damage guaranteed for an ability, which would put him down to 9. And a Night Lurker would do what, 5, 6, 7, and then a Defiler for a kill. You can Night Lurker buff away and Defile for the kill. He's not doing it. Oh no, wait, 7 healing, and now he's going to Night Lurk. You watch this, because Night Lurker's extra thing can remove a buff for extra damage, remove Soul Trader.
Great for getting rid of those, yep.
Exactly, so he's going to do that. That goes away. We got, let's do Tentacles first, 5 and 5, and then Night Lurker removed, so it's buffed to 4 plus 3, 7 damage.
And up to 2.
And he gets 1 healing for the Weaver. Let's not forget the 1 healing. Is he going to kill someone and end up on max health?
Oh man.
That's what we're looking at right here.
Injury right there.
And he's down to 2. I think he could have killed him that turn if he had a Defiler, but we'll leave that be. So, 2 health. So it's fair to say on the next go, DanTheMan is dead unless he pulls off something phenomenal here. He could have a moon song.
Well, I mean, now's the time to clear out the buffs. Or is it too late?
He should have done it last go.
Yeah.
So I can only assume he can't pay for it. We know he's lost a Pathfinder, right? So we know he's down a gravity card. He's used a Pathfinder. I think that was this game. He's played a gravity card Sun Hugger there.
So unfortunately, in this situation, he can't stop the. He's not going to be able to stop the tentacles. It's either the tentacles or the.
Oh, here we go.
What's it going into?
Stellar Fusion, Sun Hugger, Black Hole.
Black hole.
Okay. It's come out eventually. So 8 damage. All the damage gets through. I don't think he's got any damage reduction. And he removes all buffs.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for more buffs to hit the table to play that black hole, but definitely waited maybe a little bit too, well, maybe not that. He waited a little bit too long on that one.
Right.
He's definitely
cleans the board, but he's on 2 health, and the combo consumes all of his actions, so that's him done. So Defiler hits for the amount of buffs you have in play +2.
Sicario.
He has no buffs, +2. He could just do 2 damage with the Defiler right now for the kill. So let's see if he's holding one.
So
he didn't kill him with it last go, so maybe he doesn't have one in his hand. Hard to believe when he drew 8 earlier.
I mean, look at that hand size.
He's not going straight in. No way. He's not holding 2 damage. Unless he's determined to kill him with full health. This is game 2, right? He needs to, this is for the finals.
Yeah, he wants to lock. You got to lock.
He's probably not going to toy around with him.
I am so curious what that hand is because he is weighing it.
Look at all those
2
cards.
damage.
And he hasn't. He could take 2 damage, put 2 buffs in.
He's probably thinking
buffs could do damage on the first corner.
He's thinking the exact same thing. He's like, this hand size.
This is interesting. I thought this was over.
Oh. Grasp.
Wow, he's playing Ghostly Grasp, paying for it with Breach the Veil.
Breach the Veil.
Burn card, and he gets to pull discarded action cards back to his hand. So he didn't have 2 damage.
That's amazing.
If you can't believe that. DanTheMan is counting his lucky stars right now.
Yeah, that's
blessings
amazing.
all round.
That was amazing.
So that was a pure utility combo. So it's nice to see one in his deck for one thing, and he's on 21 health. So DanTheMan shouldn't be able to do that much damage on the next go, but for his sake, I hope he can. Well, Infiltrator might do 2. Sun Hugger's going to hit full value because Black Hole's on top. So that's 5 damage potentially, which will bring him down to what? 16. Not in any one hit kill territory. Okay.
He's healing up.
I don't know if they handled the buff phase there.
Yeah,
let's handle the buff phase, boys. So 2 damage from Infiltrator. I assume he's got so many cards. Sun Hugger as well, yep, okay. And then he's Yukona Tactician. So that's 4 healing and an extra action because gravity's on top. Obviously Black Hole was. So 4 healing. DanTheMan not
Black
dead
Hole
yet.
Definitely covers all the elements handily.
What's he going to follow it up with? He's got 1 more action. DanTheMan, what a game from him. Hanging on. Black Hole, lovely clean up of the dread buffs.
He's just looking for the healing.
I wonder how this would have happened. I mean, I'm hoping he still stays in this, but I wonder what happened if he Black Holed 1 turn earlier. I only assume he couldn't have paid for it.
Yeah, because that was definitely a huge momentum shift right in the middle of the game right there.
I mean, look at the situation now. Like, he's healing up a little bit, but he is still bringing some random guy down. He's drawing 1, okay. 2. Oh, no, 2. He got an extra action, yeah.
He's just gambling right now. He's digging and praying.
Well, what happens if he might draw planetary alignment? Oh, he actually missed what cards Ghostly Grass he pulled back. He's got a Defiler, though.
He's have the Defiler.
Alright, so what's he going to do? Defiler's not great without any buff set. It would have been great earlier.
Oh, there's a Night Lurker.
It's a Night Lurker. That's probably one of the ones he pulled back.
And he's just playing
He's playing it legit, so it probably means he wants an action. If he plays a Tentacle afterwards, it's an extra action, right? If he moves them all in, he doesn't get the extra action. Oh, 2 damage from the Infiltrator. I think they forgot that last turn. Just catching up. Yeah, there you go. So he's Sicarioing in. Oh, no, that was the 2 damage.
Oh, okay.
Putting in 2 Tentacles, so he has another 2 actions. I think he can Defile for the kill here. It's Defiler +2. 3 +2 for 5. Yeah, he can't kill yet. He needs 1 more buff and then Defile. 1 more buff for 7 healing. And then Defile for 4 +2 for 6 exactly, and that is game.
Wow. He's keeping those buffs in. Yeah, that was a good game. It's really hard to call right in the middle there.
He knows he dodged a bit of that. I think the catch-up power there was coming back.
Yeah, I mean, just, coming into that Astral, I think, it's hard to say, but again, that timing on that Black Hole,
yeah.
that would have swung
I think 1 turn
would
would have swung it. 1 turn earlier, I think we would have looked at a different game.
Difference, yeah.
And well played by both players again. DanTheMan, SomeRandomGuy. It's the first time I've seen them this tournament.
Right.
Because obviously we're on the desk a bit.
So, and again, you know, I mean, they're both walking away winners here, top 4. So congratulations to them again.
Yeah, and great demonstration of how Dread and Astral play by both players.
Yeah. Very good lineup.
Everyone's going to be learning a lot. I bet the spectators are probably going to take some tidbits home there.
Take some notes, yeah. I know I'm certainly taking notes here.
Yeah, so. Don't play some random guy with the Dread without a black hole. But that's going to wrap it up for this for now. We'll probably see you in the final shortly, right?
All right, come down to the final 2.